Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I think the most beautiful thing about Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires was this beautiful friendship between Victor and Nova, and how far the friendship actually was taken, and how much emphasis was put on how important a friendship actually is. Because once for every lifetime we meet a best friend that we forever and always hold close to our heart, that we tell everything to, that we trust so much more than anything else in our entire life, that we would make any sacrifice to keep for forever and always. And we saw that in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, and it was shown in one of my more recent videos that I uploaded about Victor and Nova's friendship, because I thought it was the most beautiful thing that we saw from Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, along with how Zed and Addison wanted to spend the rest of their lives together, and they had that opportunity. I think that when you have a best friend in your lifetime, you become close with that best friend because there's a value in trust, and there's a greater appreciation for trust with a best friend than perhaps anything else in our entire life. We tell each other everything, we share in each other's experiences, we cry, we laugh, we help each other through the most difficult of times. It is really something that Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires did a fabulous job showcasing, which is why I'm really excited about the future for Victor and Nova, because the most adorable thing about them, out of everything that is adorable about them, is we don't know really anything about them. What their story will detail has yet to be discovered, and I, for one, am incredibly excited to be along for the ride for this incredible journey that we are on as we discover the history behind Victor and Nova and the true meaning of their friendship, which is going to be a beautiful discovery. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown my Victor and Nova videos. I didn't expect the Victor and Nova videos to be received and have such an incredible reach. More recently, one of my more recent Victor and Nova videos have been garnering a lot of attention, and I just want to say thank you so much for hearing my message about how important a friendship actually is. Because in Descendants and Zombies, the reoccurring theme has always been about friendship, and how much of a value is put behind a friendship. You take, for example, how far Victor and Nova went to get the opportunity to spend the rest of their lives together and really have a greater appreciation for each other. I think through the sacrifices they made, they didn't care about what each other thought of each other. All they wanted was just to be together for forever. And that was the most beautiful thing about Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires. It really helped me put my own life into perspective of how many friends I had in my lifetime. I had probably 5 really good friends that I stayed in contact with my entire life and forever and always kept close to my heart. Because I always believe that our hearts are our best friend. So when you have that feeling in your heart that you've met the right person, that is what you take full advantage of, and that's what you trust in, because your heart ultimately is your best friend. And as I've said many times, we all have a light. It's just a matter of how and when we find that light, and trust me in that. Everybody has a light, and no matter how long it takes you to find that light, you do find it. I think one of the most beautiful things about Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampire script was how Victor and Nova saw each other in their dreams ever before they met. I think we all get to a point in our lifetime where we wish we could see somebody in our dreams and have the opportunity to meet them. I think that was a beautiful way of introducing us to the new cast, this new franchise, and the new spin the franchise will take now with all the new characters entering because of this vortex at the end of the movie. I loved how each story in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires reached a conclusion where they realized they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. How Zed and Addison realized that after all the years they had put behind the Zombies franchise and how many memories they had created, how many sacrifices they had made, how they didn't care what anybody thought of them. All they wanted to do was spend the rest of their lives together. I loved how the conclusions were saw in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires without there ever being any doubt in anybody's mind. In Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, what I noticed about the movie was there was no confliction. There were no breakups. There were no arguments. It was just focusing on how 4 people wanted to spend the rest of their lives together, and they wanted to create memories while they did it. Zed and Addison never had an argument in Zombies 4. All Addison ever wanted to do was to protect Zed when he zombied out, or how Zed wanted to protect Addison from all the conflict that she was faced with in her own life, because we all know from the past Zombies movies how Addison struggled with finding her place in the world. Haven't we all struggled with finding our place in the world? I can't begin to tell you how many people I've seen in my lifetime or encountered that have struggled finding their place in the world, but that didn't go without them finding their place in the world, because everybody that I met in my lifetime eventually did, because they had a goal, they had a dream, they set a goal, and they achieved it. With a lot of help, but they did it. And the thing was, I've always believed that everybody has a light in this lifetime. No matter how long it takes you to find it, you do eventually find it. I know that sounds a lot like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, but he was my favorite Final Fantasy character of all time, and because he's so revered. That was a quote from Cloud in the script of Final Fantasy VII, both the remake and the Rebirth video game that I never ever forgot. I really do think that Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampire's reoccurring theme of how friendship sometimes is undermined and undervalued, and a greater appreciation was shown for friendship in this franchise by Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires is something to be really commended for the writers and producers. This, no matter how you choose to look at it, this was a beautiful script. And it was a beautiful script because of how Victor and Nova's friendship was really put on display. How they eventually went from being on the ground to flying in this beautiful scene for Dreams Come True and this beautiful duet. This beautiful duet really came to life because of the message of the song and how powerful it was. It was really a dream come true for Victor and Nova after having seen each other in a reoccurring dream. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've wanted to meet a girl that I've dreamt about every night of my life. I can't say I've ever had the opportunity to. Many times in my lifetime I thought that I met a girl that I saw in my dreams when I used to be up berry picking when I was a child up in the mountains, but I would never see that same girl twice because there are a lot of ghost stories that are affiliated with this island. But the beautiful thing about Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires was everything that seemed impossible to happen for a person became possible, even if it was just for a slight amount of time. Everything that seemed impossible in a lifetime became possible, at least for once. Which is why I think a dream of everybody is to get to a point in Zombies 5 where we do know more about Zed and Addison, we do know more about Victor and Nova, and we will forever and always cherish the memories that they will create. Because believe you me, this story is far from over. While critics will always suggest that this story is reaching its dramatic conclusion and they need to stop making Descendants and Zombies movies, I, for one, believe because of the powerful message of how much emphasis has been placed on friendship, especially now and this point that we're at, I really do believe that these stories are far from over. And if you're going to talk about Descendants and Zombies, you should say nothing but good things about it, because there are fans out there of Descendants and Zombies who have forever remained loyal to the product. And because they have forever remained loyal to the product, they know everything there is to know about the product, and they have a greater appreciation for it than any critic, far more than any critic ever has on YouTube. What I've tried to do is shy away from the criticism that Malachi Burton and Freya Sky have received for the portrayal of these characters and how they brought these characters to life. I mean, you take Dream Come True. That was a very powerful duet. That was a very powerful duet about how even the most impossible of dreams that have never seemed achievable for anybody can happen for somebody and can become that much more of a realization than sometimes we ever give it credit for. And how you have this one friend in your lifetime that you will do anything to keep and forever and always hold on to. The one friend you call every night or you message on a text message on a phone and tell everything to because you can't make sense of your own life. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've been caught up in these really weird situations and I've had to message my best friend and he's had to try to help me make sense of it all, or a girl that I've been close with, I've told everything to. How many times in my lifetime did I keep a journal for a girl? Which is why I really appreciate how Victor and Nova told each other everything in this franchise. There was never a moment in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires where they didn't tell each other everything or they kept any secrets from each other. There was never a moment in that movie where I saw Victor trying to keep something from Nova and Nova likewise trying to keep something from Victor. They were so close, it was almost as if they were inseparable. Even off the set of Zombies, you could see the chemistry, and you could feel the chemistry between the two of them. When they were doing PR for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, every single moment they were together, they were so appreciative of being in each other's presence, which is something that I give the writers and producers of Descendants and Zombies a profound amount of credit for. There's just something about them noticing chemistry within an instancy, and because they can notice chemistry within an instancy, they really put it to work. And both on the set of Zombies and off the set of Zombies, everybody was just so appreciative to be around Victor and Nova, which is something I give them a profound amount of credit for, because it's all about the vibe that you bring to a set of a franchise. You know, years ago on the set of Hannah Montana, that vibe was never there between Emily Osment and Miley Cyrus because they didn't have a mutual understanding of what each other wanted to get the most out of life for. But when you talk about a franchise like Zombies, everybody was so close and so together in this project. That was what was so beautiful about Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, which is sometimes I have tears in my eyes talking about because I don't know what it is about me. I just realize the appreciation and the value that a lot of people tend to forget about when it comes to this franchise, because I think there's a real prestige with talking about Descendants of Zombies. Regardless if you remember the franchise for the powerful songs like Legends in the Making, Dream Come True, Go My Own Way, where Nova got to a point in the movie where she was trying to figure out what she wanted to get the most out of having her lived her life for. Was it her father's aspirations, or was it something greater? And the thing that I noticed about Victor in that movie was whatever she wanted to do with her life and what she wanted to get the most out of every opportunity for, he was fully supportive of her, and she likewise was fully supportive of him. I think that's what a girl's dream is for every relationship. You see, guys will often criticize girls for being friends with another girl, but the thing is, girls tell each other everything because they trust each other. They fall in love with each other ever before they'll ever fall in love with a guy, because girls understand each other better than anybody, any guy out there ever could. And that's why some of those beautiful friendships exist between two girls, and that's why oftentimes we see so much criticism thrown the way of people like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, and even Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim, who've had so many rumors derived off their friendship. The thing is, they just instantly fell in love with each other because they understood each other. They hung out, they both on the set and off the set of Zombies, and got to know each other for what a friendship really was worth. And I hope this is a reoccurring theme with the Zombies franchise. I hope there is no confliction between Victor and Nova. I hope they stay friends for forever and always. I really appreciated how there was no conflict in these movies, because oftentimes for TV shows like The Vampire Diaries and Buffy the Vampire Slayer years ago, how many times did we see Buffy and Angel get into an argument? How many times did we see Stefan and Elena break up throughout the course of the seasons of The Vampire Diaries? If there were 170 episodes, Elena and Stefan broke up 50 times in the 150 episodes. Or there was so much confliction between the brothers, the Salvatore brothers. There was way too much confliction in these vampire TV shows. So I really like how Disney really kept the friendships intact and really emphasized on how important a friendship actually is. Because I really believe that some of the most beautiful friendships of all time have happened because of Descendants of Zombies. The conversation always starts with, are you a fan of Descendants of Zombies? And I think because people are more fans of Descendants of Zombies than ever given credit for, some of those beautiful friendships have happened. You know, I've seen this with my own two eyes. I used to look after girls years ago, and they were really young, probably 7, 8 years old, and 15 years later, they're still the best of friends because of this passion of Descendants of Zombies. I've seen some of those beautiful friendships happen because of Descendants of Zombies, and I hope that is a reoccurring theme. Because of the Worlds Collide tour, because of the movies, and how much the movies have meant to your hearts. I think everybody should have the more I think about it, I think everybody should have a slumber party tonight and watch the entire Descendants franchise or the entire Zombies franchise. Watch all the movies back to back to back, and I think it's a beautiful franchise that has represented so much, has had so much meaning behind it. We saw High School Musical and Hannah Montana become so revered, but was it because of friendship? Was it because the franchise actually had meaning, or was it just because of the music? Because Hannah Montana's song Rockstar was cool years ago, which I agree it was a cool song, but I mean, did Hannah Montana inspire you to become the best of friends with somebody ever before Descendants of Zombies did? No, I don't think so. But, the thing that amazes me about Descendants of Zombies cast members are they are so respectful. Oftentimes over the years I have said a lot of great things about girls on Disney Channel because the respect was there for them. But I didn't see that same respect coming from guys, so I shied away from talking about the guys on Disney Channel of generations past. Now in this new generation, because of the lack of respect that I noticed from people like Zac Efron and Corbin Bleu and Ross Lynch, in this new generation, people like Malachi Burton are giving me encouragement to believe that this world will go on to achieve greater things because of just how much respect people like Malachi Burton bring to the set, how much respect Cameron Boyce brought to the set many years ago, because he not only brought the best out of himself, he brought the best out of everybody he worked with, and he was a true inspiration to so many people, and he will forever and always be missed. I don't care who you are, Disney will never have stars like they have now, and the chemistry is off the charts on Disney Channel. Just how much in love Freya Sky and Malachi Burton seem to be with each other is outstanding to me and really remarkable. And it really just shows how valuable a friendship actually is and how much meaning is put behind a friendship and can be put behind a friendship that's necessarily never given enough credit in this lifetime. One thing I noticed about the Worlds Collide tour was just how caught up within the moment people like Freya Sky were, how emotionally connected she was with her performance for each and every one of you for songs like Gold Is Gone and a Dream Come True with Malachi Burton. I noticed during the duet for Dream Come True with Malachi Burton, he was so appreciative of being in Freya Sky's presence, and he put her arm around her and he told everybody that she was going to be something special. And I said at that moment, this is amazing. This is absolutely incredible, because we're not only seeing this friendship on Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampire set from take to take, we're seeing it off the set of Zombies 2, which makes it that much more spectacular and that much more of an honor for me to cover, because I really do believe that these two stars have remarkable futures in store for them, and I think that young man, for Malachi Burton, has a fabulous future in store for him, and I think that if there's someone to have 100% confidence in, it's got to be this guy, because as I've said, I've seen so many guys come onto the set of Disney Channel and just be so unappreciative of everything happening around them, everybody around them, and it was almost like they didn't see the value in the product and what they were trying to present it for. But then you have people like Cameron Boyce and Malachi Burton years later, coming off generations of the past that you would think would be arrogant, but they're far from it. They are true inspirations because of their personalities, how fun they are to be around, and I think everybody who was a part of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires was just so appreciative of being caught up within the moment, and this was a part of history that we were all a part of that I think we wanted to last for forever. You know, if it were up to me, the Zombies and Descendants franchises would last for forever, and that's why I do my absolute best to ensure the legacies of your favorite stars, because Zombies is really just the beginning of what's going to happen for these stars. They are going to have very promising futures, and futures that I'm incredibly excited to cover. Futures that I'm incredibly excited to be a part of, just like each and every one of you are, and your friends are excited to be a part of Zombies and Descendants. I have never seen so many beautiful friendships happen because of Descendants and Zombies. Do I think Victor and Nova look adorable together like you guys were trying to convince me they did? Sure I do. And I fully support anyone who is a fan of Victor and Nova in this story, because this story has so many places yet to go that I'm excited to be a part of. I'm really excited to be a part of the future when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, and I can seem to never say enough good things about Descendants and Zombies, because I feel as if when people upload these reaction videos about Descendants and Zombies, they're not really breaking down the franchises the way they're meant to be broken down and reviewed. They're just criticizing it in a reaction video, saying, okay, Dream Come True was a cool music video, but why was it a cool music video? What stood out to you about the music video that was different from any other music video that we've seen from any other previous Zombies movie? They don't even offer you emphasis or insight on why they loved Dream Come True. It was just a good music video. But why? Did it make you feel as if it reminded you of a relationship that you may have been in that you wish could have lasted for an eternity? Did you see yourself through the eyes of any of the characters that were in that music video? Was there a particular moment where it captivated you? For me, it was when they discovered the ability to fly, and just how powerful it was being lost in the night sky with somebody you loved. That's what stood out to me about that music video. And that's why it was one of the most compelling music videos I think ever seen for a Zombies franchise ever collaborated. And not to forget about Zed and Addison, because they really did offer so much to this franchise, and everything they did for the Zombies franchise, they did with such meaning. From the very first duet they sung, Someday, and they knew they had gotten to a point with Zombies they never ever thought possible. They knew they did it. I remember when they shot the Someday music video years ago, when they were 16 years old and they hugged each other and they cried because they realized they had gotten to a moment that they had worked their whole lives to bring to life for each and every one of us. And because they did that, some of the most beautiful friendships of all time are happening because of Descendants and Zombies. And they're beautiful friendships that will never ever be forgotten and forever and always hold a very special place in all of our hearts. You guys got to believe me, this is the greatest honor that I've ever had in my life. Having the honor to meet all of you, to share my stories with you of how I'm a big fan of Descendants and Zombies, how I've been a big fan of Disney all of my lifetime. I love Mickey Mouse so much because Mickey represents everything that Walt Disney wanted to promote years ago about how kindness is never seen enough in this lifetime. Mickey represents every character that Walt Disney has ever created, from Elsa from Frozen to Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I mean, there are so many beautiful characters that emphasize just how much of a value can be put behind love and how far a friendship can actually go in this lifetime. But I think that if you talk about some of the most revered couples of all time, definitely in that conversation you have to include Zed and Addison and now Victor and Nova, because fans of Descendants and Zombies will forever and always believe that they need to end up together for forever. And I fully support your assumptions on Zed and Addison and, of course, Victor and Nova, who will be carrying on the legacy of this franchise. because this is a beautiful franchise no matter what way you want to look at it. Because like I said, some of the most beautiful friendships of all time have happened because of Descendants and Zombies, friendships that will never ever be forgotten. And I would say 20 years from now, people are still going to be watching Descendants and Zombies because they will forever and always remember the profound impact that Victor and Nova had on all of our hearts, with how they stayed together no matter what. They didn't care what anybody else thought of them. All they wanted was to spend the rest of their lives together, regardless of how anybody or any critic out there may have felt about them. Because when you have two people that are incredibly supportive both on and off the set of Zombies of each other, that is something of extreme rarity, which is something that I give a profound amount of credit for everybody bringing them together and allowing them to be together to express their emotions in ways that we have never seen characters for any Disney Channel franchise. Talking about Hannah Montana, High School Musical, you can talk about that 1,000 times over. But did we ever see that same appreciation coming from Gabriella and Troy from High School Musical of years past? No, we didn't. We never saw them as emotionally close together, or this emotional bond like we're seeing with Victor and Nova, which makes this extra special and something to pay particularly close attention to for the foreseeable future for Zombies, because I think this story is really far from over. And with how many unlimited supernatural creatures are out there yet to see their introduction into the Zombies franchise, to make this even more unpredictable what could be inside of that vortex, can you imagine what happens when they eventually jump inside of that, and how far they will go to protect each other, how far Victor and Nova will go, what sacrifices they'll make just to stay with each other for forever and always. That's what makes this so incredible, because we all get to this point in our lifetime, regardless if we choose to admit to it or not, where we'll do anything to protect the ones that we love, where we'll do anything to keep that person we love in our lives for forever. We've all gotten to that point. Some of us haven't yet, but we will all eventually get to a point where we'll make any amount of sacrifices just to keep that one person we love, and to tell them we love them 1,000 times over, because we want them to know that we love them. I think that, you know, taking the kiss out of the Zombie Swore Down to the Vampire script between Victor and Nova, I think they could have left that in there, honestly, because there was so much meaning behind the friendship between Victor and Nova, and it was just not based off of romance. They just didn't meet each other and instantly fall in love with each other. It's like, who are you? They tell each other everything just randomly, and eventually they fall in love. So it was based off a friendship ever before it was a romance. And that was so beautiful about it, because it really gave us encouragement that we can actually, you know, be friends with somebody and stay friends with somebody for forever and always, which is something I give the writers and producers a profound amount of credit for having done. Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, my heart goes out to each and every one of you for bringing this to life, sacrificing so much for Descendants and Zombies, and seemingly never given enough credit, because from where I choose to look at it, nobody knows how to review Descendants and Zombies. Nobody knows how to review Descendants and Zombies quite like this, and never will be able to do it again. So if you're looking for a YouTube channel and a commentator who knows what he's talking about Descendants and Zombies, perhaps you should subscribe here and stay here for the rest of your life, because I will do you the honor of creating wonderful videos about Descendants and Zombies time and time again in this lifetime and the next lifetime, because you guys deserve that. If you deserve anything, you do deserve to hear great reviews about Descendants and Zombies, and I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you. It's only 12:35 in the afternoon, and I already uploaded 3 videos on Descendants and Zombies today. I have one more to go. I will try to have that video out before sunset, and I hope you will join me for it. But I really do believe that Victor and Nova's friendship is a beautiful friendship that is never given enough credit, that can be shown more respect than it's ever deserved. And I think that more people are becoming fans of Descendants and Zombies because of this beautiful pairing of Victor and Nova, and just how inseparable they seem. Just as sure as the sun is shining in through my window this afternoon, I really do believe that they are a revered couple that is going to be forever and always remembered for their contributions, the many sacrifices they made to spend the rest of their lives together. Because, as I just said, we all have a light. It's just a matter of how and when we find that light, and how long it takes us to find it. And I think that Victor and Nova undoubtedly have a very promising future in store for them. And I'm just incredibly excited to be a part of it, because this is the greatest honor of my life, to be able to create all these beautiful videos about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you, for every single person who's ever said they were a fan of Descendants and Zombies. This is what you've deserved for a very long time. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you for the more recent video I uploaded about Victor and Nova's friendship, because this is what the reoccurring theme has been about Zombie Swore Down to the Vampires, or at least how I choose to look at it. It's been about friendship, and it's about keeping a friendship for forever and always. And it was shown by how many people hit the like button for my predictions on Zombies 5 and what kind of direction I thought the story was headed in, but more so how much I valued the friendship between Victor and Nova. And I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who hit the like button for however many times you did, and the hundreds of views it received. Hopefully this video will do the same and be received and have just as incredible of a reach. But because the Victor and Nova videos are so popular, I will try my best to create as many of them as I can for you. You're going to just have to give me time because I have to produce the videos, I have to edit them ever before they're uploaded. But I just wanted to say thank you, take a moment to say thank you. And when I say thank you, I mean a profound thank you for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel, because this YouTube channel was just created by a guy who was a fan of Descendants and Zombies like all of you. And I never ever thought this YouTube channel was have as far as a reach as what it has, and I have each and every one of you to thank for this, because I could be just some guy uploading Descendants and Zombies videos with no likes and no subscribers, but because we all have a light, eventually we get to a point where we find that light, and it's undeniable, the love and support that you guys have shown these videos. I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. Probably talking about a whole lot of stuff that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people. But I am forever respectful of Descendants and Zombies. I've given up my life. I've dedicated to my life to creating videos for you about Descendants and Zombies, because I think there is a greater appreciation to be seen and to be had for Descendants and Zombies and characters such as Victor and Nova, which really were a dream come true. This has been a dream come true for me, having the honor to meet each and every one of you. And if you would do me the honor to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video, I would really love you for it. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. I honestly don't know where I would be without you. We will talk again about Descendants and Zombies in just a few hours from now, but until then, I want you to keep that dream ever so close to your heart, perhaps closer than you ever have before, because a dream is that much closer than you tend to realize or sometimes maybe forget about. And just know that we all will find our light. It's just a matter of when, where, and how we find that light, no matter how long it takes us to find it. Victor and Nova, their legacies will never ever be forgotten. I'm here to secure their legacies, and I can't do it without your help. So be sure to subscribe and like this video, and we will talk again in just a few hours from now. I certainly hope you love this video on Victor and Nova as much as I love creating them for you. We will talk again in just a few hours from now. So long for now.